Hello everyone, this is Eli G. Brown / Eli G. Brony, and welcome to the second episode of the evolution of a Hero Factory hero. In this episode, I am going to be looking over the original rookie star, William Furno. Now, Furno happened to be the hero to have got to the most released sets of all time, having a total of 6, not counting any minifig versions. And, well, he happens to be the most released character. Well, I am going to point out that I did not include the version of Furno from the Furno bike because that's basically just a modified version of the original Furno. And I saw no point in bringing that in because you can just put the regular Furno onto the Furno bike, and I more see the parts from the Furno that came in that set just as spare parts. So that is why he is not here. I have only brought in the versions of Furno that came in regular sets that do not involve around machines. Well, except for the minifigure, because, well, I brought the minifigure in because I did that in the video for Stormer, and I will be doing that for every episode, even Next in Stringer, because if you've been following me since 2014, you should know that I made custom versions of those, so I will be showing those off as well, despite them not actually appearing in the story. So, just like before, I am going to be reviewing each of these characters individually, and going over how much of Furno has changed over the years. So let's start way back at the beginning, when Hero Factory had first started. I'm going to take away all of the other versions of Furno, and just leave this one. This is the original William Furno that came out in 2010. And Furno, this version of Furno, also is the very first Hero Factory hero that I had ever gotten. So, this version of Furno was, well, quite different from the other versions that we would get, and that would probably involve around what colors are used for this version of Furno. Furno is one of the rookie heroes in this series, so that means a couple of things. First off, he doesn't have a unique armor piece. The armor piece that he uses is the same one that is also used for Surge and Breeze, the other two rookie heroes in this series. Another thing that this means? Well, it means that he has 2 actual arms instead of the weapon-integrated arm that Stormer, Bolt, and Stringer have. Though, of course, if you've seen my episode on Stormer, you would probably already know that, if you didn't before. Now, going on to a number of other features that this version of Furno had, well, the colors for this version of Furno consist of him being red. He is a red character, pretty much making him like the new Toa of Fire in this series, as all of the original 6 heroes in the first series, well, except for one, all have the same colors as the the Bionicle heroes that came out before them. Now, Furno also happens to have fire-based weapons that are used, well, right here. Now, these versions, these weapon pieces, are mostly silver, but they also have these orange fire blades at the end. This was the very first set that these weapon pieces came in, and they wouldn't be the last, because they would also be used in Jawbeast, a villain character that Furno faces off in the Breakout series, and we will be going over the Breakout version of Furno in a little while later in this video. And they were also used for the Furno Jet Machine, which came out in 2011 with his minifig form. Now, something bizarre about this version of Furno is that he uses a lime green colored hero core, like with all of the heroes in this series, except for the pilot and the dropship. He has a translucent hero core, which is something that is only used for the heroes in this particular series, because in every series after Rise of the Rookies, we would have the solid colored versions. And Furno also has a translucent lime green headpiece underneath. I will show you that. Come on, get off. There. Lime green headpiece. So not a bad version of Furno. It was the first, so now let's go over to the second. Oh, and one more thing. Something that this version of Furno has that no other version of Furno after this have is that he has the key orange colored arm pieces. He would have some yellow be used in some of his later versions, such as for his next two versions, but not this yellow. Alright, now on to the next version of Furno, and that would be Furno 2.0. Now, the 2.0 heroes certainly had a drastic change, such as how they appeared and what parts are used to build them. Hero Factory 2.0 was the first series to introduce the building system that is now identified as the character and creature building system, originally identified as the Hero Factory building system, since Hero Factory was the series that this building system was introduced in. And like with all of the heroes, Furno has a new head design. It is a design that evolves around this new headpiece and a skull cap to go on top and a visor that goes in between them. In Furno's case, he has these goggles that are used. Now, a lot of people didn't like the look of Furno in this version. I didn't like how he looked. But now that I look at him again, like after 6 years since the set came out, it has grown on me. Though it's not the best version of Furno that we have seen, it kind of just seems to me like it was like April Fool's Day or something, and this was how Furno celebrated it. Furno also happens to have this shield piece right here, which is used by 3 other heroes of the series, Stormer, Evo, and Nex. And he also features these blue lightsaber blades that come out of this weapon, as well as these weapon pieces that are also used by Stormer and Breeze. I realized that I forgot to mention that Furno also used these weapons, because I did remember in the video for Stormer that I mentioned that Stormer shared these weapon pieces with Breeze, but forgot that Furno also has them. And like with all of the heroes in this series, he has a unique armor piece. It says Furno 2.0. Now, what are some things that were brought into this version of Stormer, in this version of Furno, and what things were taken out? Well, here are the things that were put in that were not on the original version. Furno now has some silver on him, and he also now has yellow for his hero core and yellow for his headpiece, as well as some blue lightsaber blades put into his weapon. Some things that were taken out of this version of Furno? Well, the key orange, arm/leg pieces, and, well, that's about it, other than the obvious stuff such as the original weapon and the mask. Alright, so that is Furno 2.0. Now let's go over to the next version, Furno 3.0. Now, Furno 3.0 is the version of Furno that we get in the summer 2011 Hero Factory series, the Savage Planet series. And in this version, Furno's weapon is this crossbow, which uses pieces that was previously also used on the villain sets from Ordeal of Fire. And like with all of the heroes in the series, Furno gets a unique armor piece that has printing on it. It is a translucent green, and it says Furno 3.0, and also shows an image of an eagle. All of the heroes in the Savage Planet series use an animal base, and in Furno's case, he is an eagle. Now, some things that people didn't like about this version of Furno would be the upper legs. There's no armor on them. This is something that has never happened in any Hero Factory set before or after Furno 3.0. I mean, sure, they did also do it on the arms. In fact, Furno 2.0's left arm had no armor on it entirely, but on the legs, this is the only time that we ever get to see it happen in an official set. Although, something that some people did like about Furno 3.0 is that he has wings on his back, which allows him to fly. So, that is Furno 3.0. So now let's go on over to the next series. That would be the Breakout series. And Furno has gained some more height in this one. What he has also regained is his original mask. The original mask that was used in this 1.0 version. Speaking of which, here it is. You can see that it is the very same mask used. And that was the theme for Breakout. All of the heroes got their original masks back, likely because of the feedback people left about the 2.0 heroes. Now, Furno was designed to go after Jawblade, who is a shark-like villain, so naturally, Furno is fitted with these jets that allows him to go underneath the water. He also has this fiery print. All the heroes have this fiery, well, not a fiery print, but they all have a print on them. And something else that Furno also gets in this version is the color white. It is a color that Furno has not had before. He has white on his upper leg pieces, and also white is used for the jets on his back. And he also has a white armor piece on his lower right arm, right there. And with all the heroes in the series, he gets a white hero core, which has the code on the back of it, but that code has already been used. And plus, the game is not even around anymore, unfortunately. Now, something that people did not like about this version of Furno, well, it's only one thing anyway. The fact that he did not have an actual hand used on his weapon. I here have fixed it by putting in a handpiece, but on the official set, it's just a bowl cup that is used. I mean, I really do not get why they couldn't have added in a bowl cup piece into a weapon that could easily have an actual hand inside of it. So that is what I have done here. If it should have an actual handpiece in it, and if it can have an actual handpiece in it, then it may as well have an actual handpiece in it. So that is what I did there. Though I guess you could argue by the fact that the handpiece is the same color as the weapon itself, but, you know, it fixes the problem with Furno only having one hand in this version. Furno also gets a set of handcuffs, which he uses to capture Jawblade, and that is Furno in Breakout form. We previously would have called him Furno 4.0, but in this series, they dropped the numbers. So, now we are going to go over to the next version of Furno, and that would be Furno XL. Now, I did already review Furno XL in Brain Attack form when the set came out in 2013, so I'm just going to be recapping him this time around. Now, the XL heroes was something that would pretty much happen in every Hero Factory series from Savage Planet onward, starting with Rocka XL, though I will go over that one in a later video. And Furno XL happens to have this huge sword piece. It's the same sword piece that's also used on Stormer, though of course Furno XL was released first, and also this flame piece, which is also used on a villain character called Pyrox. And Furno XL also features this cape. And Furno XL has this shield piece right here, made up of pieces that's also used for the wings on Surge, and the shield piece on Stormer. If you have seen the Stormer video, you probably should already know that. And he also has these spiked maces on the shoulders, which was also previously used for the mace staff on Black Phantom from the previous series, Breakout. Now, Furno's mask, in this case, well, all of the Brain... No, don't fall! All of the Brain Attack series heroes get a new mask design, though it does try to bring back some of the elements from the original design, and there is this visor that is added on, although he doesn't look as great when you have the visor off. So put that back down, much better. And like with all of the heroes in the series, he has this hero core protection that protects his hero core from the evil brains. So now we are going to move on to the final version. We just looked at the biggest version of Furno ever released, but now we are going to be looking at the smallest version. This is Furno, in the Invasion from Below series. Now, Furno in this series used various different weapons depending on what set you got them in, and I used a yellow headpiece for this one, but it's supposed to be in a blue color. I switched to yellow because I thought it looked better. And Furno in this version appeared in the sets of Splitter Beast versus Furno and Evo, Furno Jet Machine, and Queen Beast versus Furno, Stormer, and Evo. So pretty much you would get a total of 3 Furnos in minifig style. And they also have these gunmetal or silver main body armor on them. Alright, so just like I did before with Stormer, I am going to now line these characters up from smallest to tallest. But this time around, Furno 2.0 and 3.0 tie in height. Now, of course, this time around, except for Minifig Furno, all the heroes now are lined up not only from shortest to tallest, but also from earliest to latest released. So that is all 6 versions of William Furno that ever came out during the 4.5 years that Hero Factory was running. Thank you so much for watching, and do let me know what version of Furno you liked the best, and I will see you again next time.